Good day, grade 11th. Today we will just look at past papers. So this is just an example of one. I'll send the rest to you on the group. Okay, here we are given the diagram. So now we are applying everything that we have learned. Below shows a diagram. Points P, it's 0, 2, Q is 4, 0, and then there's a point A, which is the midpoint of PQ. Even if they hadn't said that it is the midpoint, this indicates that it is the midpoint because PA is the same as AQ. So even if they hadn't mentioned that, this tells us that A is the midpoint. Okay, and then line AB is perpendicular to PQ and intersects the x-axis at G over there and the y-axis at B over there. Okay, so the first question says show that the gradient of PQ is equals to negative 1 over 2. Okay, remember that a show that question means that you have to calculate like you would normally do, and then the difference, the only difference here is that they have given you what the answer should be like. So whatever you calculate, it must indicate that the answer is, it must show that the answer is negative 1 over 2. So I have done the calculation. PQ, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or you could have said yp minus yq over xp minus xq. Okay, and then I substituted the coordinates. It is 0 minus 2 over 4 minus 0, which gives me that, and then it simplifies to negative 1 over 2. Okay, so the marker location, it's 2, so I've even shown you how the marker location will be like. Second question says determine the coordinates of A. Okay, so A is the midpoint, so we know how to calculate the midpoint. You add the x values and you divide by 2, you add the y values and you divide by 2. So the x value here, so it's going to be 0 plus 4 divided by 2, and then 2 plus 0 divided by 2, which is what I have done here. And then the marker location again is 2, so it's either I give the marker location for the substitution and then marker location for both values, or I just mark 1 1 like that. Okay, question 4.3.1, determine the equation of AB. Equation of AB. So AB here is a line that is perpendicular to PQ. So the first thing that now, because we don't have a coordinate by B, so the first thing that you need to do is tell us what the gradient is. So that is what I did. I wrote the gradient of AB is equals to 2. Why is it 2? It is the negative reciprocal of this one. So you first have to state that, and then you give your reason. It is a perpendicular to PQ, right? So it will be the negative reciprocal. And then you substitute into the equation formula, 1 mark for your substitution, and then 1 mark for the, 2 marks for the final answer, which is 2x minus 3. So that is the equation of AB. Okay. And then the next question, 4.3.2, determine the coordinates of B. Okay, as you can see that this one I added because the question just went straight on to the length of B, the length of BQ. Now, for you to be able to calculate the length of BQ, you needed to have the coordinate of B. So let's find the coordinate of B. Now, B lies on the equation AB. and B is the y-intercept. If you can see y-intercept of AB. So the y-intercept is obtained from there, or you can substitute x equals to 0 into this equation. So it comes out as 0, -3. So those are the coordinates of B. And then we can calculate the length of BQ. There's your formula, and then you substitute, and then you get your final mark, which is your final answer, which is 5 units. Okay, please remember that every time, even for the midpoint, so every time you have to write your formula, then you substitute. Okay, and then the next question says, show that BBQ triangle BPQ is an isosceles triangle. So how do you show that it is an isosceles triangle? We have to find two sides that are equal. Now, the triangle can be isosceles oriented like that, meaning that we can have PB being equals to PQ, or we can have it upright like that, being BQ equal to BP. So that this is just giving us an assignment to calculate the length of the triangle, the sides of the triangle. So we've already calculated the length of BQ, and we found it to be 5 units. So I'll calculate the length of this one, right? So when I calculated the length, this one is a vertical line, so we are not going to use equidistance formula here. You can, but there's no need for it. This one, from 0 to 02, we have 2 units up, and from here to here we have 3 units down. So 2 units plus 3 units gives you 5. So PB is 5 units, which is now the same as this one. Then you conclude, therefore it's an isosceles triangle because BQ is equals to BP, and then you've got the two sides that are equal. You could have also calculated that one, and I'm sure you could have obtained a length that is longer, and then you need to calculate the other side to show that you have two sides that are equal. Right, the last question, if PBQR is a rhombus, determine the coordinates of R, which is 4 marks. I made it 4 marks. All right, so the way the question says, it says PBQR, so that means R is somewhere up here. Then you can include it in your diagram like that, with dotted lines. It says here, if it was a rhombus, so now you must know what a rhombus is. Rhombus has all sides equal, so that means if this is 5, this is 5, it means this is also going to be 5. And if it is a rhombus, all sides, the opposite sides must be parallel. So that means the sides must be parallel to each other. So when you add your side, this one going to R, it's going to be vertical also because it is parallel to this one. So this is going to be parallel to that, and then this one is also going to be, so this is where R is going to be. So this is going to be parallel. This is going to be parallel to that. And then if this is vertical, we already know that this is 5 units. So from 0, we know that the x value for R is going to be, the x value we don't know, but the y value we know it's going to be 5 because we're moving 5 units up. So the only thing that we need to find is the x coordinate. Okay, so that needs you to be alert when you are working such questions out. Okay, so that's what I did over here. So QR is going to be 5 units up, and 5 units from 0 here, And then the only thing that we need now, we know that this is also going to be 5 units because this is 5. So you can work backwards. So it's 5, and then you do the distance formula, and then it will give you the x coordinate, which is 4. So it's 5, and then in your bracket, it's going to be 0, or x minus 0 squared, and then 5 minus 2 squared, which is what I did here by the distance formula. This gives us x squared plus 9, and then you square. So I squared both sides so that the root sign can go away. So this is why this is now 25. So 25 minus 9 is 16, and then x squared is equals to 16. Then you take the square root on both sides, so x comes out as 4. And then the coordinate is going to be 4, 4, 5, which is r, like that. Okay, so this is just one question that I pulled out, and then I'll send more for you for us to be able to practice. Thank you.